I know we've only known each other for 4 weeks and 3 days, but to me, it seems like 9 weeks and 5 days.
All my passionate plant people and garden enthusiasts. It is the last show of the year. This is the last show of 2026, everybody. Can you believe it? Here we are. We're about to wind it all down today. We've got a couple of really great, exciting announcements to talk about, and just a little bit of a look forward, and hopefully a couple of new guests, and like I said, a couple of great announcements coming up for you here today, as we are looking ahead at 2026 today, here on the last Sunday edition of the year, the last show, and we're going to be looking ahead at 2026. If you didn't join, if you joined with us yesterday, we took a look back at 2025 yesterday. It was a great show, talking all about this last year, and just kind of a little look back and a thought back at all the amazing guests that we got to talk to, and we had special guests with us joining us on the show, our contributors in 2025. We had Paul from Guten Gardening. We had Bowtie David joining with us from In the Garden. And we talked about the In the Garden segment, and, just a few things looking back at 2025, a little look ahead for those guys and all of that, as we'll be moving ahead, going into this new year again, too. So it was great to talk with them about their contributions to our show this last year. Plus, we also had with us Sarah. Sarah from Sarah's Seed Shop joined with us. She came to come hang out with us for what was our second to the last show of the year. And we got to kind of say hi and goodbye again, to Sarah, as she's on a new adventure in her life now. And so there's no more Sarah's Seed Shop, and having Sarah doing our trivia for the Saturday show. But it was really, really great to have her on the show with us yesterday, and to kind of catch up and see how she's been doing since we last saw her here on the Let's Get Growing show. Plus, we had our sponsor with us from Ivy Organic. Charles Malky joined with us to talk about his new venture going on. He's going to be doing some podcasting himself. He's got himself a nice little studio all set up and everything. And we did a little giveaway. We got a couple of winners who won some Ivy Organics 3-in-1 plant guard and some of the fertilizer and all of that. It was really fun. It was great to hang out with Charles to kind of help finish up the year for us here on yesterday's show. And yeah, it was really great fun hangout. So if you didn't get a chance to go check that out, definitely go and check out the replay of yesterday's show. And right now, here at the top of the show, real quick here, let's go through it. Let's click that like button, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, bell notification to be notified of all of our upcoming videos and live streams. Plus, share with all your friends. Let them know that we are here every Saturday and Sunday, 11 p.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. For all of you over in the UK, really, really bright and early, like I said, 4, 5, 3 a.m. or so, all around, depending where you are in Australia, if you're joining with us as well. And a little more to come on this bit of information, too, because I'll let you know, this is just a little hint, a little teaser. I'm going to let you know, this banner is going to change next year. How about that for a teaser? This banner is going to change this next year. All right, all right. And you know how we go. Huge shout out to all of you who are joining with us on the replay, team replay. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us here on the show. It's always great to have you here with us, joining us on your time jump into the comments in this below and let me know you're here. Let me know how everything grew this year, 2025. Let me know what you're looking forward to in 2026. And or like I said, drop in, just say hi. And I look forward to hearing from all of you, especially over the holidays. And if you are here with us on the show, live with us right now, and you have any questions or comments, definitely jump into the chat and let us know you're here. Drop in there, say hello, and we'll also get your questions on the show if you could put those in big bold letters there too, just so I can make sure I can see the questions from the rest of the conversation, and that way we can make sure we get your questions asked, especially as we talk about some new things coming up here. You might have some questions, so definitely drop those into our chat there. Is so, and follow all of our links down below, and yeah, check out some of our other social media and all of that as well. He said, here we are, last show of the year. I mean, I can't really believe it. It's here. It's the end of 2025 for at least the Let's Get Growing show. I know you all got your holidays ahead for you. I am looking forward to a little bit of a kind of a break as well too. So we'll talk a little bit about that sort of thing coming up here, as we will be kind of on a show break for what will be the next few weeks coming up. So, but I want to jump in here and let's see here. Let's jump in here and say hello to some folks. Definitely want to say hello to our good friend J.J. Dixon, joining us from Midwestern Ontario, Canada. And Jay is our facilitator of the show and sometimes host. I guess we could say sometimes host of the show, as Jay hosted some shows for us over a few weekends ago. You can go back and check out some of those great shows that Jay did for us. But normally Jay's facilitating the show in the chat, and you can see her dropping links and information and doing shout outs for channels. So if you have a channel, definitely drop in, let us know. She can drop a link in for a channel shout out. But thanks, Jay, for being here. And I think we might catch up with Jay just a little bit later in the show too, as we're finishing up here a little bit later too as well too. So right on. Thank you so much. I see, again, as I was mentioning, those who wake up bright and early in Australia. We got our buddy Rick joining with us here up and early, joining us from down under. Excellent. Merry Christmas to you, Rick. It's great to see you there. And Paul from Guten Gardening, I hope you're well too, Paul. Hope you and the family are doing great. And Paul was on the show with us yesterday, as I was mentioning, as we were taking a look back at this last year. So it's great to talk with you, Paul, and I look forward to seeing all the great stuff we get to do in 2026. Dusty Flats in the conversation. Great to see you, Dusty. Dusty was on our community show. We mentioned talking about that here in a minute. Let's see here. Right on. Muddy Puddles Farm. It's great to see you here on the show with us. Right on. Just writing a plant wish list. Yeah. You got to have your wish list. Get it. This is the time to be dreaming about the new garden for sure. And dream about all them new cool plants that you want to get. All right, I see Janet. Great to see you. Good afternoon to you. It's great to have you here with us. Thanks for dropping into the chat. And if you are here with us, like I said, just like everybody else, drop into the chat, say hello. I see we got David. David was on the show with us yesterday as well. Triple G, greetings, global gardeners from the Bowtie Turmeric Slave Labor Farm. Still working on that turmeric. That's great. Bowtie. Excellent. Thank you. And it was great to see you as well as Paul, like I said yesterday, talking about in the garden with you guys. That was just really fun. Thanks for being here with me. And as you can tell too, as I was mentioning yesterday, still dealing with this cold. don't know. I feel maybe just slightly better than yesterday. I think I'm just kind of like going through I think maybe from here it's all downhill for sure. But yeah, just still another day of me struggling through it. I was like, I can do this. This is the last weekend. These are the last couple shows. So I was like, I know I can make it through it for sure. I can do this. To see Eddie in the conversation. Thanks, Eddie, for being here. Great to have you here with us. Serena. Awesome, awesome. Serena asks, is the Urban Gardener going to be live next Sunday? And the answer to that is, unfortunately, no. I mean, like I was going to say too, is that there might be some pop-ins. I'm talking with Jay, maybe myself or something like that. There might be some pop-ins. We're not officially saying anything about it. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to set up each of our shows for next weekend. And what I'm going to do is set them up for chat. So the chat, will be open. You guys can jump in, say hi to each other during our regular show hours and all that sort of thing, just like we normally do when we take days off and we don't have anything to kind of fill or whatever, or I got to go away, or there's just those weekends that do kind of happen like that. And I can leave the chat open for everybody so they can jump in. And believe it or not, I'm always surprised too whenever I go and look back at those chats and everything, and how many people actually jump in and say hi to each other and come and just do the, like the old school chat room and just say hi and have a conversation and all of that too. So we will set those up, but there could possibly be some pop-ins. We might pop in. You might just see me pop in here and go, hey, everybody, how's it going? No intro, no nothing. And I might just do that. So that could happen as well too. So that's what we're going to be doing over the next 3 weeks. So I'll just go ahead and let everyone know right now. It's going to be January 17th, Saturday, January 17th, that we'll be back. So that'll be 3 weekends we're going to take off. That next weekend after that, January 17th, we'll be back with new shows and all new sorts of stuff. We got some great announcements. I'm really excited about announcing one of these big announcements we've got coming up here. Here in just a few minutes. We'll just jump right into some really cool announcements for 2026. But yeah, we'll be back January 17th. So that's what we're going to do there for that. All right, let's see here. Make sure. Oh, I see. Oh my gosh, Methydicus albriticus. Did I get that right? I don't know. I'll try. I'll try again, maybe some other time. But howdy, it's great to see you. It was actually great to see you popping in on us too after the show there as well. But great to see you here with us today. Great to have you with us in our chat. Our good friend Adam. My good friend Adam, actually from just right up the road here in Southern Oregon. He lives up in Central Point here, just a few miles away from me here. And he says, listening in while stuck at work for the next hour. Well, I guess that's a good way to spend some work hours, is hanging out with us, I suppose. So great to see you, Adam. Thanks for being here while you're at work. That's great. All right, let's see. He says, yeah, listening while out pruning fruit trees. Excellent. See, there you go. You can listen right along with the show and still do the things that you need to do while you're out in the garden as well. That's great. Yeah, and Cav Snake Oil says, listening while working on my plants. Excellent. Yeah, exactly. Listen in, watch in, however you want to set it up, and you can come hang out with us here. Right on, right on. So we got Bohemian Herbology back in the house here. How you doing? It's great to see you here on the show with us. Hello, all really enjoyed the community site last week. Great to meet everyone. Yeah, wasn't that a great community show last week? It was just really, really great to see everybody and to meet everybody. And not just last week, but throughout the whole year, that community show has been really great. addition to what we've been doing here on the Let's Get Growing show, to where we can kind of get to meet each other and see each other, put faces to the names that we see as we're hanging out with each other here on the show. So yeah, it was another great one, this last one, and we'll have more of those as well coming up in 26 as well too. So look forward to more opportunities to come jump in with us and come and join in on one of our community live talk shows that we have, where you guys get to, jump in kind of video style. I give you the link, you jump on, and get to hang out, have a conversation with you, learn about your garden, and learn a little bit about you, and get to meet you. So just really great stuff. I really love it. It was just such a fun way to hang out with everybody over this year. So I'm looking forward to doing more in 26. All right, I'm seeing some new names in here. Well, this is great. Awesome. Bernie, cheers, Cavs. All right. I see Shawnee Grows. Happy winter solstice. I know. Here it is. Here we go. The great thing about winter solstice is that you're now on your way towards winter being over. You're that much closer. we finally, instead of dreading it coming, it's here now. We can get through it, and then spring will be here soon, and we'll be right back at it. Right on. Good to see you, Shawnee. Let's see here. Right on, MKP. What's growing on? What's growing on with you, MK? Great to see you. Great to have you here in the chat with us. Great to have you here hanging out with us. I see Tony as well. Happy all Merry Christmas, Tony. It's always great to see you in the chat with everybody. We're here on our final show of the year. We've got a couple of great fun announcements to talk about here today. We've got a great couple of guests, hopefully here. Hopefully, I'm gonna say this. I'll just kind of explain this. Being sick and all of these, I mean, I've got a lot of things going on right now that, a lot of people, again, we got, after the cameras are off, I got to go off and do all sorts of stuff, and got a lot of personal things going on. I got so many, and I just don't feel like I communicated very well with one of our guests about being on today at this certain time or whatever. So it's completely my fault if we have to kind of jump into what my plan was for this show, and we're going to get ahead of ourselves. But hopefully we'll get to see one of our guests if they get to see my message that I left them, and I gave them a link. So if they pop in and show up, we'll maybe possibly get to them just a little bit later in the show. But yeah, I was planning right now to do one of our announcements with someone, but I didn't. Man, I'm sick, and I'm not paying. I'm so out of it right now. It's not even funny. So I just gotta bear with me here, I suppose, and hopefully, we'll get that one announcement done maybe a little bit later here. But we'll jump to our next announcement here coming up in just one moment here. So again, thank you, Tony, for being here. Right on. I see our Fresh Princess up in the house. What's up, everyone? Happy Sunday. We got Craft Organics. Good day, all. Awesome. I'm thinking one of my good friends did a nice little announcement here and did some sort of something, and we got some new names jumping in here. So it's great to see all of you dropping in with us here today. It's really, really great. It is our last show of the year, but and they say greenhouse time soon. Yeah, there you go. I know it's this time of year. I really wish I had a greenhouse. Really wish I did. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, what is this? This is a question real quick. Serena's asking me a question here. Let's see here. What percentage of the plants in your studio are succulents, and what percentage have to be watered more often? Well, here's the thing. There are, I have one that could be classified as a succulent, I suppose. It's more outdoors. It's that I have. That's maybe it. I'll kill a succulent like that. I mean, I'll look at a succulent and think it'll just start falling apart. That's how succulents are with me. So I don't have any succulents. I do run kind of a weekly watering schedule, for a lot of the plants, but then some of them are more like bi-weekly or whatever, and I just kind of go by once a week and see which ones are in need, and kind of do that sort of thing, and work and take care of them that way. But yeah, I was just thinking the other day too about our big monstera that you see there too. Is it's getting to moving up to the top here, and I was just wondering, man, maybe over this next season, I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking about maybe I might start to cut and propagate it, maybe cut it back and make a couple of new plants out of it or something like that. And I'm just not sure yet if I want to quite let it go yet, though. Either it's such a nice backdrop in the back of our set here, but it is hiding like our guitars, the guitars that you'll never see me play, right? But yeah, I've thought about that, but yeah, no succulents for me. Right on here, sorry. Still coughing, man. Whew. All right, everybody. Like I said, what is this? Bowtie, you're funny. Enoch starring in a big movie during the winter break. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? I could sure use a big movie contract, that's for sure. All right, everybody. Okay, so I think at this point I will officially go ahead and say that we're going to move on to what was going to be my next announcement over this announcement. So we'll kind of flip them if possible. If not, if I don't see our possible guest that we were supposed to have, we'll talk about that and that new announcement a little bit later on in the show as well too. But real quick, though, I do want to take just one little minute to do one little last thing, one little break here, real quick, and then when we come back here, and it's just 1 minute, we'll get with our first guest here and talk about our first. I mean, this one's really, I think, the big announcement of our new year, and what I think I'm just really excited about is this big announcement we've got coming up here in just one moment. I'll see all of you in a minute.
Hi, my name is Charles Malky, biologist and plant expert with Ivory Organics, where we grow cool plants and author Saving the World with the Home Garden. Ivory Organic 3-in-1 Plant Guard has 7 natural oils that protect your plants, not just from the summer heat as well as winter cold, but also protects your plants from damaging insects and rodents. The oils in the product include castor, cinnamon, clove, garlic, peppermint, rosemary, and spearmint. These oils are natural insect and rodent repellent oils, which are encapsulated by the base powder, offering your plants months of protection at a time. 1 application per year will suffice for protection against damaging summer sunburn and winter sun scald, but if the target is pests, application as much as 2 to 3 times a year may be necessary.
All right. Again, thanks to Charles. Charles was with us yesterday on yesterday's show. Thank you to Charles and Ivy Organics for being our sponsor of the show and helping support our show over these last couple of years. It's just been really great to have them a part of what we're doing here. Go check them out. It is the holidays. Go get your garden friends out there, maybe a gift, get them some 3-in-1 plant guard. They got some fertilizers and some other things there at ivyorganics.com, and use our promo code GROW10, GROW 10, to get 10% off of your order. And congratulations to the folks who won yesterday. We had a little giveaway. Charles gave away some 3-in-1 plant guard and some of the fertilizer. It was really kind of fun for him to kind of pop that on us and do a little giveaway while he was here yesterday. So really awesome there. So, all right. So again, like I said, big announcements. Here we go. It's 2026 coming up. It's time to do some new stuff. I kind of like to maybe change up a little bit, add some new things, some new people, do all these sort of things as we've moved on. When I first started, it was just basic. That first year, as I was just starting out, it was just a Saturday show on at 11 a.m. We just had that one show, and that's what we did the first year. And because we had so much fun and so much success with that Saturday show in that first year, and kind of just trying to live up to the challenge of being able to do a show like this, you know what I mean? And so I wanted to challenge myself even more when it came to the second year. So one of the things about doing a show like this, though, and I'll just kind of maybe start here, is that we get so many people. In fact, I showed everybody our master list that we have here for our shows, and it's a pretty cool master list here. And again, the light probably doesn't do it justice or anything, but it's pages and pages of guests. In fact, I think these are pretty much our first year, and then going into the second year, and then the next year, and all of that. But pages and pages of these guests and these different people who come join up with us here for our conversation every weekend. And what ends up happening is that there's so many more people out there I want to talk to, so many more people I want to have on that are new and everything to our show. And so when I was thinking about going into the second year, I was like, how am I going to be able to invite back guests and be able to have new guests as well too? We're going to kind of create a kind of a, I don't know what you say, like too many people trying to get through, kind of thing. I don't, it's a jam, like a traffic jam or whatever of guests, as I'm trying to get them and have different people as well too on there. So I set myself up for the challenge to do a second show. We added the Sunday edition for the second year of the show, and that was 2 years ago. And so for the last 2 years, we've been running Saturday and Sunday doing that, but that traffic jam of guests still persists, because even though we've settled into some cool things with our Sunday show, we've got Gardner Scott doing the second Sundays for us, doing the answering all your questions. We got our book club. We've got Dr. Jeff now showing up for us every other month or so on our Sunday edition, and then we got some really great roundtables, and we've been doing some of those things have been really fun. But there's still a lot of other guests who've been on our Are You Following Me segment on Saturday that I'd love to be able to invite. And I keep looking at the guest list, and I'm like, oh man, I want to have these folks back, but where am I going to put and where am I going to be able to schedule them if I want to invite them back? So that's kind of where we're at now. Again, we're at another traffic jam, and there needs to be something more happening in order to make sure that we can be able to have some of these great people who are spending time with us each and every weekend here. So what we're going to do in 2026, here we go, drum roll, right? Drum roll. Can y'all hear that? Is that a good drum roll? All right. We're going to set up what we're now going to call our 3-day weekend. We're going to have a 3-day weekend here every weekend on the Urban Gardener channel and the Let's Get Growing show. We are going to add one more show to the Let's Get Growing lineup, but it's going to be a different time slot. We're going to, like I said, it's a 3-day weekend now. I wanted to kind of keep things together a little bit. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a new show on Monday evening now. It's going to be Monday evening. I believe we're going to start around 5 p.m. Pacific. That'll be 8 p.m. Eastern. And I know that's going to really mess things up for our folks in the UK. I really, really apologize. And I suppose some of our folks in Australia don't have to wake up as early, I suppose. But we're going to go into this new time slot with a new show in our lineup. So we have the Saturday show, and now we have the Sunday edition today of the show. And now on Monday, we are going to be having what we're going to call the Let's Get Growing, the Green Room on Let's Get Growing. The Green Room. So this is going to be a great new show. It's going to be fun because here's the thing. This is probably, I think, the coolest part about this new show is I am not the only person who's in the hot seat when it comes to this new show. I thought, if I'm going to do a new show, we're going to add something to the lineup, I'm going to need some help. I'm going to need somebody who's going to be able to sit right alongside with me here and to be able to do this show with me and to help bring something new, bring a new voice, bring a new personality, bring something really fun and going to be really fun and exciting. And I'm really happy to announce that we are going to have a co-host for the Green Room on Monday, and that's going to be our good friend Natalie from the Fresh Princess is going to join with us each and every Monday. In fact, she's going to join with us right now. In fact, we've got Natalie joining with us here for what we're going to be doing, the Green Room on Mondays. Natalie, how about that? Are you excited? Tell me what you're thinking.
Good afternoon. I am so excited. I can't wait to be a part of the Let's Get Growing family. So I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm totally looking forward to it as well. As I was saying, it was going to be great to be able to bring more opportunities for having some of our guests back and be able to have some great new conversations and all that sort of stuff. It's gonna be, I knew that we were gonna have to go there, but I just knew that I was gonna, like I said, have to have someone who's gonna help me along with it. And I'm so glad that you were just as excited to jump on board with me and to launch this new show in our lineup. Like I said, every weekend's now a 3-day weekend. End your 3-day weekend on Monday evening with us. Me and Natalie from the Fresh Princess on the Green Room. How does that sound?
I am so excited. I mean, you've built such a wonderful community, a wonderful show, and to be expanding it is very exciting. So congratulations. And I'm very excited that I get to be a part of it. It's going to be awesome. It's for me, especially as a new grower, it'll be exciting to meet new fellow gardeners and some guests that I've seen previously on the show, and I'm really excited. It's going to be a fun experience, and I'm looking forward to working together. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be I can't believe I didn't set that up, but anyways, it's going to be really awesome. I mean, really, like I said, I'm excited about being able to have a position for us to really kind of fulfill a few different things that are kind of a need in a way for our show. We kind of needed a different time slot as well, because and also to be on a weekday, because there's just some guests that can't do weekends that I'd like to have on some of our shows that I've loved to have booked over the last couple of years, but we've always kind of ran into that problem of not being able to do things on a weekend. In fact, I'll let everybody know here in just a minute too who one of our first guests is going to be for the Green Room as well. Because that really fulfills what I'm talking about, is this, wanting to have some of these really great folks out there who are gardening gardening creators and communicators and folks out there doing things and sharing gardening with everybody who can't make it onto the weekend show. So this new time slot's going to be great. It's going to be a great opportunity to bring some of them. I did mention too, unfortunately, and this is the thing about that time slot, and I know we got a lot of folks from the UK. I know Toadie's in the audience right now, and he's probably saying, yeah, too, that's pretty late at night for me. I think it's somewhere like 2 a.m, 3 a.m, or something like that. So I do apologize to everybody in the UK. So I hope to see all of you on our replays and watching when you get the opportunity to check out some of these conversations. But the folks in Australia, though, I mean, you guys don't have to wake up so early now to come and catch us on Let's Get Growing. And you can come watch this new show. So that, and a lot of the folks who've been on before too. So how do you feel about getting this opportunity to be able to, interview and talk to and be able to, have this great conversation that we're going to be carrying on through 2026 through this new show that, that we call the Green Room?
I mean, I feel like I'm right where I belong. For the people that know me, know
Yeah.
I can talk about plants and gardening all day long. So to be able to be a part of a show where we talk to different guests that have either different types of gardens or different experiences is going to be really exciting, especially for me. I love to pick people's brains. Like I said, I've entered this whole new world of gardening recently. And so I'm just really excited to be a part of it. And it's going to be great for the show being opened up to a whole new time slot,
Yeah.
a new audience. It'll be exciting. And then, fortunately, there's the replay for people out there that can't make it for the time slot. You were saying that it's late for some people. I was going to say it's late for me too.
I know. You're on the evening side of this, and I'm on the Pacific side, so
Yeah, so
I'm on the earlier side of this. Yep.
I've actually been working on adjusting my lighting schedule, right? Because my lights usually go off at a certain time. So now I'm going
Yeah.
to push it a little bit later so that, we're not interfering with the plant's bedtime.
Oh, are we on during their bedtime usually?
Not for long. The overlap isn't that bad. Usually it lights out at 9 p.m. So 9 p.m. Eastern time. So it'll go an hour later than normal. So they'll turn on an hour earlier. Or an hour later, sorry.
An hour later. Just an hour. It's just a little daylight
Yeah,
savings.
just an hour
There's a little
shift,
daylight saving time for them.
just a little daylight savings, but it's worth it. This is going to be a great opportunity, and this is what I used to want to do when I
Yeah.
was studying in school. I wanted to,
Yeah.
be a part of a show in some way. So it's a little bit full circle that I get to, be a part of the channel and Let's Get Growing family. And I'm just, I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Well, already, I thank you so much for, taking the time to be a part of this and to help me out on this new venture. And again, the idea really is to be able to kind of create kind of a little extra conversation, with a couple of other guests. So the green room, in a sense, isn't just me and Natalie and one person or what we're usually thinking about doing is there'll be one person every now and then. We'll have a feature guest, which I'll let you know about our first guest coming up as well. But to have a conversation with a few people, like a little room of folks getting a chance to kind of have a conversation, a little maybe extension of what was our roundtable idea we were doing on the Sunday edition to, just kind of extend the conversation a little bit into a little bit of a fun 3-day weekend for us. So I'm really excited about, not just getting the chance to, see some of these other folks that we've had on before too, coming back and getting a chance to be back on this new show with us though too, but to see where the conversation goes, because that's one of the fun things about doing a show of this type of nature is we're all kind of talking with each other and being able to kind of, either throw some questions each other's way or follow up on something that someone else was talking about or something that it's really a conversation ultimately. And it can go almost in any direction, and that's really one of the fun things about doing this type of setup that we're working on.
And we have some fun stuff planned too. Have a little
yeah, exactly. I want to talk about that as well too, because that's another thing. I've been trying to think of ways that I could kind of fun up the show just a little bit more and do that sort of stuff. And I thought that was one of the great things that I was going to throw at you when we talked about setting up this show. Is like, how do we kind of pump it up? How do we make it fun? What do we do? So we got a couple ideas of maybe some little sub segments that we'll have as well. So our guests will have to take part in some fun shenanigans we'll get into as we're going through our conversation throughout the show.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We'll, put them in the hot seat and it'll be
Yeah. I think we'll do something kind of like which we haven't kind of finished, and we're still working on some details, folks. So there's kind of some things over the off time in these next couple of weeks. Natalie and I'll be, really kind of putting together all the finer details of the show. So we got it all set up and everything. But we'll have some fun sub segments, like I said. Maybe do something like a lightning round. I've got an idea about something else too, which I haven't mentioned to Natalie as well too. So I thought maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later, and we'll, like I said, we'll throw some fun things together for everybody as well. So again, it'll be kind of a continuation of what we normally do on Let's Get Growing in a way, but it's also going to be something new and fun and different as well. And that's what I think is going to make this show just really, really, really great when it comes down to it. What do you think? Yeah.
The suspense is killing me. Who's the first guest?
Oh my gosh, the suspense is killing you. Oh yeah, absolutely. So, well, here's the thing. We'll say not necessarily first guest. First show, we're going to kind of take it easy. I've got a plan for that. We'll have that'll be all set up. Everybody will get to know. First show is going to be we're going to just kind of get a feel for what we're doing. We'll have some guests. We're going to, all that sort of stuff. But our first main guest that we'll have will be in our second week, which will be kind of, we're jumping into the fire with the show. And our first guest basically will be Joe Lample. Joe Lample from Growing a Greener World. He's done PBS shows, all that sort of stuff. This is the type of guy who, when he does his type of feature shows and things that you guys can find out there, I'm sure Jay can find us a link to Growing a Greener World where you guys can find some videos and some things that he does. Joe's the kind of guy who does a show who's used to having a whole crew with him. Right, Natalie? He's got like a whole crew. He's got his producers, people, all that sort of stuff, so it's going to be really fun to get into a great conversation with him and hear some stories about doing some great garden production and some of the really fun shows and everything that he's done as well too. So it's going to be fun to kind of jump in with a really great guest like Joe Lample.
Yeah, start with a bang. So I'm really excited about that.
Exactly.
It'll be, cool to hear his experiences. Sounds like he's had a lot of experience in his career,
yes.
And I'm looking forward to chatting with him. So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and that's going to be fun. And Joe is one of those situations where I was mentioning earlier where, I've tried to get him on the show for the Saturday or Sunday show, but he isn't available for weekends. We did have him on the show, but I had to do a weekday pre-recorded interview. So we did a pre-recorded interview that I just played for everybody on the show. So there wasn't, it wasn't. So I've gotten to the point now with Let's Get Growing where we try not to do pre-recorded anymore. And that's what's going to be great about this new slot is that this really helps fulfill some of those things. There's some Australian folks that I've tried to ask onto the show before, and a couple that I've had to do pre-recorded with. A couple have been awesome and been on the show and woke up really early to be on the weekend show. You know what I mean? So
it's a great opportunity, right? For guests that have obviously the time difference, or for viewers that have the time difference, but also guests, right? So that'll be cool. But I'm interested to see what the 8 o'clock time slot brings.
Really, and like I said, it's in, we don't have to do those pre-recorded anymore. We get everybody live, so we can really fulfill what this show is really originally all about, is that it's a community show, so that everybody's involved with the show. And that's the same thing with this new show as well too, that you all as the guests or audience out there are a part of the show as well too. You get just as much of opportunity to drop questions in and take part of the conversation and all of that. And that's why it's gonna be so cool to have folks like Joe Lample on with us live, so that he doesn't have to be pre-recorded and we can really get in and talk to him and ask him some great questions. And it's not all on me either too.
Right.
With what those pre-recordeds are.
It's such a different conversation when it's live too, right? Because it's on the fly, and the audience gets to be engaged, ask certain questions, and it's more of a casual conversation versus a formal sit-down pre-recorded interview, right? So I think it'll be a different feel, a different vibe, but I think it'll be great. I'm really excited, and I'm excited about Joe. He's going to be a great guest.
Yeah, he really is. He's a fantastic guy. Like I said, I could have talked to him all afternoon when I was recording with him about some of these stories that he has in some of the great people he's gotten to meet. He was a real big inspiration for me as I was first getting started, because that was kind of originally my idea I wanted to do. Is I was getting started YouTubing and making videos. It was one thing to kind of show my garden, what I was doing, and some of the unique things that I get to do in my different spaces and some of these small urban spaces that I grow in, the alleyway and all of that. So it's kind of cool to be able to show some of that stuff. But one of the things I really wanted to do is kind of in the style of my good friend John Kohler and other folks that I've got to see through YouTube, do things like Joe was doing is on PBS and some of these other places, these other bigger inspirations like him, to go out and visit people and go see people's gardens and interview them in their own spaces and really get to, get those types of kind of like almost documentary content put together on all these just wonderful, great gardeners out there. And Joe's got to see so many amazing people visiting so many awesome places that, like I said, he's going to have some really, really awesome stories to tell us. I'm for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's got years of gardening experience under his belt, so that'll be a good interview for sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. And then again, too, like I said, we're going to continue on from there. I've got plans for lots of other great guests. A lot of times you're going to see folks you've seen on Let's Get Growing before as well, too, as we're going to be in, like I said, that kind of roundtable style discussion that we'll be doing for the Green Room. And and like you're saying, Natalie, I'm looking forward to some of the fun stuff too, and doing some of these little side segments and everything. I really like the idea of the kind of the lightning round, kind of like, let's put these people in the hot seat, right?
Yeah, and that's what I love too about the round table type discussion is, you can bounce around information, ideas, and it's not necessarily so much of an interview as much as a conversation, which, it'll be nice. Sometimes you may get stories out of people that you don't normally in more of an interview setting. So I love that it's going to be a round table type discussion.
Yeah, exactly. And again, as well, for everybody else who's watching out there too, and who get the opportunity to come and check us out and everything, it's great to have you guys a part of that conversation as well too. So I mean, get us all in together. We can all talk about our favorite thing, gardening. As I mentioned to people,
you don't have to ask me twice.
I know, exactly. And that's the thing I love about having these shows and being able to do this sort of thing with especially all these really amazing people who are creators and communicators on their own in the gardening space is that you get to have these fun conversations with people that you don't normally get to have in your everyday life, right? I mean, I can go on and start talking gardening with the neighbor or my my daughter or some other friend or family or this and that, and they'll be interested for about a minute or so. And then I want to get on talking about the next thing, and I want to get on talking about this, and then by that time it's like, okay, so that's what makes this great.
It becomes a conversation with yourself, right? And then at that point you don't need anybody else. So it'll be nice to, be around like-minded people and just have a conversation. There's nothing that I'd rather be talking about than gardening and anything to do with gardening.
Yeah, and again, also with this type of space and these types of conversations, right, we get to talk about all aspects of different things. I mean, look at the difference here already between your hosts of this show, right? I've got alleyway gardens and containers out on rooftops out there and everything, and Natalie's got this, amazing grow tent and does some of this just really awesome, I like to say, futuristic gardening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was laughing. I saw Bowtie's comment said it should be called the Silver Room instead of the Green Room.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's we come from different worlds of gardening, but they still fall under, the gardening umbrella. So it'll be interesting too, right? For you and I to exchange information and ideas. I'm sure some of the practices I have in my garden you've never heard of, and a lot of the practices I'm sure that you have in your garden I have never even considered, right? So it's
exactly. And that's the
it'll
fun thing is that if we're just kind of gaining inspiration from each other, that's really something really valuable to get out of a conversation, right?
Yeah, that's my goal. Within my own personal garden and life is I just want to inspire people, right? And so if people can take away something from the conversations that we have with fellow gardeners, that's the goal, right? Is to inspire people and to share information. So I'm really excited that I get to do that here with you.
In fact, that's our channel tag right there, right? Is grow, inspire, share, right? Yeah. We grow, we inspire, we share. And that's what it's all about when it comes down to it. And again, we all love talking about our gardens and growing, and no matter what type of garden you have either, as I'm saying here as well too, you could be just an indoor houseplant grower. I want to talk with those folks as well too. I got a big interest in some of that stuff, but maybe there's some things that you'll get to learn and the audience will get to learn from folks who've got those kind of specialties, folks in the more permaculture focused type of gardening setups or that sort of thing. Those are going to be some great people to talk with, as well as, this is the fun thing about doing this show that I've done already. And I'm so excited for you, Natalie, to kind of be able to join in with me here and kind of take part in this whole thing with me on this new show, is because you're going to get a chance to do some of the stuff I've kind of already gotten to do a bit, is get a taste of all of these different things out there that I've never really gotten to know very much. I've never considered myself like an expert in anything really, but now through this show, I've gotten to learn just a good chunk of a little bit of everything, though.
Right.
And how awesome is that, to at least be able to have that kind of opportunity.
It's such a beautiful opportunity and a privilege, right? To be able to take away, some nuggets of valuable information from each and every different type of gardener you speak with. And, it's not even about different types of gardeners. It's even if you haven't even started yet and you've just gotten seeds, even if you don't consider yourself a gardener yet, this could be something for that person too, where it's to get you more familiar and more comfortable and just to be a part of the conversation, even if you're not into gardening yourself. I was going to say, even if you're not into gardening, it's always a good conversation, but maybe not for everybody. Yeah.
Sorry here. I'm trying to do a couple of things here, but this is going to be the fun thing though too about having co-hosts and doing this and that as well. Is
for sure
is some of this other stuff that needs to be done, right?
I see Craft Organic says gardening has become a part of you, which is
that
is the truth for sure. That is my identity now. So
it is. It really is. And you get to connect with a garden space and growing plants in a way that I think most gardeners, if you're really giving it a chance, you know what I mean, do. If you just give gardening a bit of a chance, it will grab a hold of you. It'll get right up inside of you. It'll take over who you are in some ways too, because it becomes something that, like I said, for me early on when I was gardening and getting growing, it was just fun. It was like, wow, I can't believe I can grow my own food, was really kind of just so interesting to me, that aspect of it all at first. And so that just gave me the opportunity to give gardening a chance, right? So I was doing that, but then there was this time and these moments where I was like coming, inside after, as it's starting to get dark, and it's like, okay, I got to stop gardening now. I got to wait till tomorrow to get back, that sort of thing. And I was just like, okay. And then I was like, man, I really kind of escaped from some of these things that were going on in my life. You know what I mean? And some of these pressures and hardships and things that I was going through kind of, it just helped me deal with a lot of that stuff. And then when I noticed that I was getting that from it, right? Then I was like, oh wait, I'm a gardener for life now. If I know that I can get that kind of medicine, that kind of relief, that kind of connection through nature and growing food and gardening and all this sort of stuff, then this is something I just want to do, for the rest of my life, right? And so gardening can really, really, grab a hold of you, and then it change your life in some ways. I mean, I've always said, who knew I'd be hosting a gardening talk show on the weekends? You told me that 10
Right?
years ago, I'd have told you were insane.
Yeah.
But here I am, getting ready to start a whole new show with Natalie here on Monday nights. So how
Yeah,
fun
I
is
know.
this, right?
I mean, a garden definitely affects change. And if a garden doesn't affect change within you, if you're not doing it properly, one way or another, right? Body, mind, or soul, whether you're gardening outside and, you're doing physical labor and it's changing you physically or spiritually, right? So there's a lot of different ways, but yeah, it's definitely for me, it's synonymous with my personal growth journey, my gardening journey and my personal growth journey. It's taught
Yeah.
me a lot of good habits, or to establish good habits. I'm not there, I wouldn't call them habits yet, but how to establish better habits than the ones I practice in everyday life. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, I'm so excited. And again, too, we'll start running out some more information as we start getting some of the details put together for this new show. It's going to be great. Like I said, 3-day weekend now, every weekend here. So I was teasing everybody earlier in the show as I've got one of our show banners I put up as we start each of our shows. It says every Saturday and Sunday at 11 a.m. And I was teasing everybody. I was like, I'll give you a hint. This banner's going to change. So now this banner's got to say, we're going to have to do like something every Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or 3-day weekend. We'll do something, but we're going to have to change this banner now because we've got this whole new show now. I can't get over, just how fun and exciting this is going to be.
yeah, and it's awesome because not only is it an extension to the weekend, but it's also kind of, well, for me, where I am, Monday evening after work, you want to unwind, watch something good, you can come tune in and check out whatever interesting guest we have that week.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have some, and like I said, we're gonna have some fun, interesting guests, some great folks on with us. As I mentioned too, we already announced we'll have Joe Lampel joining with us in what will be officially our second show, but that's gonna be our real, jump in, and I'm throwing you to the fire with Joe Lampel, a real great feature guest to get us started and everything. But we'll take it easy that first one. I've kind of got an idea what we'll do there because. We're working also on, again, we want to have some fun new stuff that we're going to feature as part of the green room conversation, as we were mentioning before, possibly like a fun lightning round and such. I've got another one that we're going to talk about here a little bit later, but you'll get to see on the show as we get going. And we want to also possibly do maybe a fun new segment with a couple of new contributors as well too. So we're thinking about setting up something like that as well, something similar to what we do with In the Garden, an opportunity and a chance for a couple of other folks who've got some channels out there to take part in our show. So we'll have all sorts of new contributors and all of that sort of thing. So my idea is that we'll get things all set up and get some of those details figured out for all of these sort of things when it comes to our show. We'll let everybody know about all that sort of stuff. But maybe our first show, we might start off with having a conversation with our first our segment guests, those folks who are going to put together maybe that segment there and kind of have a fun, easy conversation just to get the whole thing started up.
And we should tell everyone why the name The Green Room. Well,
I'll have you explain it. Let us know. Here we go.
Okay, so
You got it.
for those of you that don't know, a green room in television is where all the guests of the talk show, it's almost like a waiting room for the guests, and it's where they have coffee, they sit and they wait for their time on the segment or on the show. And oftentimes everyone's kind of a little bit more, relaxed before they hop on TV, and they're all kind of talking to each other, very casual conversation, a little less formal than it would be on an interview. And it's kind of a place where guests decompress before it's showtime. And so this is kind of what it's meant to be. And then obviously there's the double entendre of green room, because all things green, plants, gardening. And so we thought it'd be a great name to kind of sum up what we're trying to achieve, and what the show really encompasses is the roundtable discussion, that green room of gardeners just having a casual conversation back and forth, maybe a little cup of coffee involved, and
that whole idea, exactly like you're saying, a green room as far as the show's concerned, a green room with all of our plants. We both got our rooms of plants around us as well. Is an emphasis on the word room too. There's a room of gardeners getting together, to have fun discussion about all aspects of different subjects and topics in gardening. And like I said, it's just gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. I'm so looking forward to getting started with our first show and just getting this whole thing going. I think it's just gonna make 2026 that much more fun, not just for me, but everyone else who's a part of the Let's Get Growing and Urban Gardener community. And now getting to welcome Natalie along with us to help steer the ship when it comes to this new show, The Green Room. So yeah, it's so exciting.
I'm so excited. I cannot wait, and looking forward to it. Big things coming in 2026.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, thanks, Natalie, for not only jumping right on board with this, but taking on this adventure with me, bringing some great ideas and some great thoughts to what we can do and do this. Like I said, for everybody out there, I did think of the idea. I wanted to expand and do that, but then I reached out to Natalie. I was like, hey, what do you think? And she just brought some really great ideas and all that sort of stuff. It's like I said, it's going to continue that same kind of feel of a Let's Get Growing show, but it's going to be new. It's going to be fun. There's going to be some things, because this is a show that's, we're co-hosts here. This isn't just my show. You know what I mean? This is the Let's Get Growing show. The Green Room is our show. This is me and Natalie's show together, and it's going to show through how our conversations take place, some of these great things and all that sort of stuff that Natalie's going to bring to these new conversations. So, I think that's going to be really amazing as well too. Is just to be able to, see where we go with all of this stuff and see how much fun we can have with this new space for us. And what you're going to bring and all of that stuff as well too. So thank you so much for all that you're doing too.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I can't wait, and I think it'll be an exciting addition and a little bit of a new energy, and I think it's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm really excited. So we'll be back. Like I said, I should have put up one for the date, but anyways, I'll put this banner up real quick here for everybody. We're gonna be back as far as the Let's Get Growing show on Saturday, January 17th. Okay, so that means we'll have Saturday, January 17th. We'll have a new Sunday edition for you on the 18th, and now a new show on Monday, January 19th. The Let's Get Growing lineup, the 3-day weekend. Every weekend is a 3-day weekend here on the Urban Gardener channel with the Green Room with Natalie and Enoch on January 19th. Very first show.
The premiere.
Here we go. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for jumping on with us here today to talk about this and announce this with everyone. Everybody go and check out, if you haven't had a chance to check out Natalie's channel, The Fresh Princess. I'm sure Jay's dropped a couple of links for us in the conversation there as well too. Natalie's our new co-host, big part of our Let's Get Growing show here now with the Green Room on Monday. So Natalie, well, next time we see you, you're going to be in the hot seat. You ready to go?
Until next time. I can't wait. Thank you so much, and let's grow.
That's right. Let's grow. All right. We'll see you Monday, January
Thank you.
19th. The
Take
Green
care.
Room.
See you then.
Right on, Natalie. Thank
Hey gardeners, thanks for tuning in to our show today. We'll be right back at it here in just a moment. I just wanted to take a second here to highlight our regular videos and features here on the Urban Gardener channel. Our weekly garden journals. And our incredible featured visits.
All right. Here we are back at it. Our last show of the year here on the Let's Get Growing show. This is our Sunday edition, last Sunday edition of the year in 2025. And how exciting in 2026. We'll be telling everybody at this time here on Sunday to tune in or get ready to tune into a Monday edition, a Monday show, the Green Room with Natalie, the Fresh Princess, and I, having some great fun new conversations and a new time slot for us. This will be Monday evening, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for everybody. It's gonna be the Green Room. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have all sorts of new stuff, new segments, all sorts of new things to bring to you here in our Let's Get Growing lineup. A 3-day weekend. How much fun is that? That's just going to be really great. I'm really, really excited about that. And again, too, I just want to mention everybody I was mentioning earlier, I was terrible at my communication about taking care of and doing things here. So we kind of move things around a little bit here last minute during the show and everything, so that we got our next guest coming up for our next announcement that we're going to talk about here for our Saturday show. If you got to tune in with us yesterday on the Saturday show, we had a look back on 2025. We had our special guests were our contributors for the In the Garden segment. Bowtie David, Paul from Guten Gardening joined with us to talk about a little look back at the In the Garden segment throughout this last year. And then we had Charles Malky, our sponsor, with us. Talk a little bit about Ivy Organics and all of that. And then we had a really special guest. We had Sarah from formerly of Sarah's Seed Shop. She came and joined with us yesterday to kind of catch up with her because Sarah was a big part of our show for the first couple of years of doing the show. In fact, up through midway this year before Sarah had to finally go ahead and shut down Sarah's Seed Shop and kind of move on to some new adventures in her life. One of them is getting married. So she's got a whole new thing going on and everything. And it was really great to meet up with her and see her yesterday. So again, go back and check out yesterday's show if you didn't get to see that show. But it was great to catch up with her. But it was also something we've been missing. We've been missing our garden trivia. It was just something that was such a big part of our show. Every Saturday we got to have that little fun little snippet and little different bit of information, something to learn through the trivia and all of that Sarah would bring to us each and every week. And I've been sitting there thinking about since Sarah's gone, what are we going to do? We got to figure something out. We got to have a trivia segment. We got to bring back our trivia segment. So that's one of our new big announcements that we're going to do here in 2026. We're going to have our trivia segment back again. It's going to be garden trivia with Brandy, the Suburban Gardenista. Awesome. In fact, she's here with us right now. Hello, Brandy. Great to have you here. So awesome. So again, I've been wanting to bring back the garden trivia segment. So I thought, who am I going to reach out to who could have fun and really bring us some great new snippets each week for garden trivia as we move on into 2026. And again, as I mentioned too, yesterday on yesterday's show, I'll say this real quick. I was mentioning about doing and expanding the In the Garden segment and inviting a couple of people on. I had a few people in mind, and all I had to do was call 2 people, and that was it. I mean, they were like so excited they were doing that. I had a few people in mind for doing the trivia segment, and the same thing. Same with Natalie. It's just everybody, you know, just we've got wonderful people out there in our gardening community. I made my first phone call out to Brandy, and I said, "Hey, Brandy, I wanted to know, would you be able to do some garden trivia for us? Would you have some fun, cool stuff to bring to this cool segment?" And Brandy was like, "You bet you I can," and jumped right in. So I want to say thank you first off right away for jumping into this with us in our new season coming up here this next year in 2026 and being our new garden trivia.
Well, thank you. This is quite an honor. I'm very excited. I have big shoes to fill, so I'm going to do my very best. I'm going to try to make it fun, try to make it informative, try to make it fit with the season and everything. So I hope everyone enjoys it, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's great. And again, too, now we got a new person, new personality. You're gonna bring a whole new little thing to the idea of what we're doing with our garden trivia. We've talked a little bit about that sort of thing as well too. So I'm excited about seeing that and how that all kind of works out, and everybody can get back to having, again, bringing those kind of things and that fun variety back to the show that I was originally intending for. So again,
Love
it's
how
going to
the
just be
show
really
is
fun.
growing.
Yeah. Again, too, continuing to grow. We got these new things, new ideas, new things happening and all of that, but also a continuation of an original idea as well, too, but with a new face. And that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. And it's going to be nice, too. We can get some things kind of stocked up for the whole year, and hopefully, hopefully it'll just, get better every time. So we'll try to hit it off with a bang, but yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be
Thanks,
awesome.
everybody. I see lots of welcomes, so that's so kind. Thank you so much. I'm very excited, and I just think this whole show and your whole concept, Enoch, is just so supportive, and so that's why I was just ready to do it. Like, you're just so supportive of everyone that comes on your show, and you just want everyone to engage, and I love that, and I think that is something that's wonderful in like the social media world, but specifically with gardening. We can all learn from each other, and I say that so much on my channel because it's so true. Doesn't matter if you are a super specialist or if you have just a little bit of experience, all of that is helpful in helping us all grow together. So hopefully I can add some fun and some info to your show, and then we can all continue to learn.
That's right, exactly. And bringing back those kind of cool learning opportunities through these different fun segments, and putting this sort of thing together originally for me was, let's create something new and different for the gardening community, where we can all, again, as I was talking with Natalie just before, just have a place where we can all gather, as we're all just garden nerds in our hearts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we want to just have a place where we can gather and hang out and learn from each other, be inspired by each other. And it doesn't matter where we're growing from. This show, we've got folks from all around the world who participate and are part of our conversation, or are guests of ours and all of that. So we're getting this just amazing opportunity as gardeners to be able to hang out and have fun. And I'm glad to be able to facilitate it. But ultimately, and as I say all the time, I'm always just so thankful for the people who are so willing to jump in and be a part of it. You know what I mean? That was something, as I originally thought of this idea, it's like, I wonder how people are going to think about that, or what, are people really going to want to, participate in something of this sort, right? And I've just been surprised from the get-go. Like, I had an idea, had a little list, and I first got some of my first guests lined up. They were people I knew, kind of, so I kind of knew I could have them and everything. So the challenge was getting new people and doing things and stuff. And I was always so surprised at how much fun people had with the idea of being able to participate and to join with us and be guests or that sort of thing, or in your case, participate and contribute to the show as well too. So I'm so thankful of the folks like yourself, who are just jumping in and participating and hanging out with this just little fun idea I came up with, and it just really makes it amazing. Again, to be able to help us along and bring a little bit of a, just a little bit of a different, I don't know what the right word is, but a different personality, different vibe, different, just a little bit something different than just me all the time in front of the camera. And I think that's what makes this such a fun community show, is that people are so willing to participate and help build that variety up, right?
Yeah. This is just it. My computer's a little glitchy today. I apologize for that. I'm not sure what's happening. You got me?
We can kind of hear. We'll kind of go along with it. We can kind of hear you still, but you're freezing just a little bit there. But
bugger. Well, I was just gonna say, you are building a collective, and you have such good energy, and your guests have such good energy, and we're all kind of building off of each other. And so, this is just the natural result of all the effort you've put in. So thank you for the invite, and thank you for including me. And I'm psyched. I think it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be touching on some things, like obviously like general gardening concepts, but also I'm a big proponent of native plant gardening and pollinator support. So I'll be sneaking some of that in there too.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait to see what you sneak in there on us. I'm hoping to, again, Sarah was good at this, at presenting a challenge to us every now and then. Every now and then I was like, oh, I got this one. And then every now and then I'm like, oh, I don't know, A, B, which one was it? So I'm excited to see kind of how challenging we are, all of that as well too. I want to see some stumping for sure. Get people thinking, all of that sort of stuff.
All right. I'll see how we can do. I'll see if I can sneak something in there. Good.
Right on. Exactly. But so again, that's going to be fun. Be fun for us here on the Let's Get Growing show to get back to doing the trivia, get to doing some new and fun things, as we were talking about with the Monday show, and all of that as well too. So we got some really cool, fun, new stuff for 2026 coming up, man. I'm just really, really excited about this.
Yeah, you got a whole lineup. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And we'll definitely not just have you around doing trivia and everything too. We're going to definitely try to fit you in here every now and then and be a part of our conversation when we get an opportunity as well on all of our different shows and everything as well too. So we'll be seeing Brandy around in all different places throughout 2026.
I can't wait.
But she's definitely a new member of the Let's Get Growing team here, and going to be bringing us some really great challenging, hopefully, questions and trivia for us each and every week in 2026. So really, really exciting. You got anything else planned for 2026? What's going on with your 2026 besides garden trivia?
Besides garden trivia, I don't know. Well, I'm definitely going to be focusing a little bit more on my content related to native plants. I've done a lot on like kind of more gardening techniques and whatnot. And I have, a full-time job and a family, so I can't like pump out content constantly. So I'm going to kind of narrow down some of those more general concepts and touch on some of those things that I'm passionate about, and hopefully kind of broaden that in there. And yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely in this state with my gardens where I've started my collection and now I need to let things grow. And so I'm excited to see things get bigger and better over time, where I have like some itty bitty plants that are, this big right now. And in many years, they'll be like the size of 20 feet tall. So I have a waiting game. And so I'm going to try to enjoy my garden and see who comes to visit, all the pollinators that I have. So, kind of focus on those pieces. As we've done a lot of like building from scratch, and so now it's kind of time to let things get established and kind of chill out a bit.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be great. I'm excited about what you got growing on there, getting to see everything over at the Suburban Gardenista. And I know we get some links here, I think, Jay's put a link in already. Maybe we'll get another one in for everybody to go check you out there, as well as coming up in 2026 as a new member of the Let's Get Growing team here, doing our garden trivia. I'm excited about seeing some of those first questions coming up on some of our new first shows. Oh, whoops, did we drop out? I think we dropped out. That's all right. I think the internet connection was failing Brandy over there, but that's all right. We were about to finish up anyways. Exciting. Oh, is she coming back? Oh,
I think I'm back. I'm sorry. This won't be happening again. I promise.
I know. Well, here's a big thing, as I was mentioning to everybody, I did want to mention this before I let you go, was I apologize about the timing on everything. I didn't communicate very well with you about what was going on. So it's all my fault on that end when it came down to it. But I'm just glad that we were able to at least get you on for a few minutes here today to talk about that, because, that was all my fault when it came down to it. But we were able to flip some things around here and at least get a minute here with you. And again, we'll get better connections in the future.
My sweater too.
Yeah, you got the great Christmas sweater. Yeah, so happy holidays and everything. Merry Christmas to you and your family and everything. And once again, Brandy, thank you so much for joining up with us here and being a part of what we're going to be doing in 2026. I'm really excited about all of that sort of stuff as well too. So again, I think we're going ahead and breaking out. We'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and we'll just go to, let's see here. There we go. Yeah, I think we've already broke up there. I think it's freezing still too. So we'll just go ahead and stay with that. And we'll catch up with Brandy here as she joins up with us for the garden trivia with Brandy, the suburban gardenista. I'm really excited about seeing some of those first questions. So that's going to be great. We got all sorts of great new things coming up. What do you all think? What are you guys thinking out there? I want to hear from you guys. Tell me right now, real quick, jump into the chat, all of that. Let me know what you think about some of these new editions of the show, all of that sort of stuff. We got some new other things as well too, that we're working on with a couple of other folks. I know one of them is in the chat right now as well too, that we'll be talking about coming up. I've got an idea about that. In fact, I think we'll do some things here as well too. So we'll try to conversate about that as soon as we can. And again, so there'll be new things as well as we get moving on and start up our show again, coming back on January 17th. January 17th, 2026. We'll be back with new featured guests, new Are You Following Me guests. We'll be back on Sunday, the 18th. Hopefully, again, too, we'll have a book club. I'm not too sure. We'll see what we end up doing about that. Again, there's still a few things that are up in the air when it comes down to it. But one thing we know is we'll also be back on Monday now for our new show, The Green Room, with Natalie from the Fresh Princess joining with us. And then again, to just some great new stuff, new segments, new ideas, new conversations. Great opportunity for us to have some great guests on Monday that we weren't able to have on our weekend show. New time slot. Again, sorry for everybody in the UK. I really, really apologize when it comes to the new show. But everybody, let me know what you think about the new show. I want to hear about that from all of you. And I guess what we'll do here too is we're finishing up the show. I've got one last guest for you all, as we'll just waiting for our last guest to get ready here. I need to like I said, I'm dealing with this cold. My mouth is drying up. Boy, oh boy, we're making it through though. We've ended up here having a couple of great shows, a bunch of great conversations with all of our Let's Get Growing contributors, our sponsor yesterday, all of that. Blooming Grows 360 said, "Am I late? Oh, it's later in the show, that's for sure right now. Yeah, we are heading towards the last part of our show right now. But the great thing about our show is we're always available on replay. So when the show finishes up, you can always go back and check out the beginning of the show, watch through parts that you missed or didn't get to see. So like Muddy Puddles says, I'll have to watch on the replay. Yeah, so definitely check out anything that you might have missed on the replay. And hopefully I'm going to get some things, other ideas and things that I've got. I'm not holding myself to anything in particular yet or trying to promise anything at this point, but I've got some other things I want to try to work to make things a little bit better for people to be able to see some of these great segments and things like that we have on the show. Craft Organic says, great. Thank you so much. Again, awesome. Again, let me know, you guys, what do you guys think of our new show? What do you think of our new segment? Suburban Gardenista in the chat there. Thanks so much for having me. So sorry for the technology. No problem. It was, like I said, we were kind of figuring some things out late last minute there during the show even and all of that. So I really appreciate you doing what you could to be here and to help us make that announcement and everything. And I really am excited to see the new trivia and everything. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you. Right on. Do. Oh, what's this? Dusty says, you think my voice could use a little boost to maybe it could be because I sit a little bit away from the microphone a little bit. I don't know. I just don't want to have to get so far up or lean in either, too. Maybe I need to kind of do a little kind of lean down when I'm kind of talking to people or something. I don't know. Does that help or not? But I do kind of have a lower voice. Sometimes maybe I need to speak up a little bit. Sometimes I can kind of get a little low and right on. All right, excellent. Well, anyways, we do got our final guest of the year. And as I mentioned, we've had all of our amazing contributors on. We've seen about everybody. I think the only one I didn't get fitted in, and I was kind of thinking last minute too, I should have, and I kind of wished I did, but our good friend Dr. Jeff, who jumped in midway through the year and started doing his Dr. Jeff segment on the first Sunday of every other month. So I'll be getting with Jeff. I'm sure we're going to see plenty of him over this next year as well too. So he'll be back on the show here real soon. Tony says casual Enoch, casual Enoch, right? I'll get down. Casual. Yeah, what's going on? Right on. Excellent. Great. Good to see you, Tony. But let's end the show with our last and great one of our one of the best contributors we have to our show each and every weekend, and as sometimes host of the show even now, as she jumped in and hosted some shows for us recently. And oh my gosh, where is it at? Do I not have it on here for oh my, let's see if I can do this. This might change everything up. I'm gonna mess with everything real quick here. Okay, it didn't change it. Okay, it didn't do too bad. All right, perfect. We got to have a little minute here to finish up the year with one of our best contributors, our facilitator of the show, the J-Bot. The J-Bot. All right. Actually, let me double check and make sure I got this set here right as well, too. There we are. Jay Dixon, our fearless facilitator here and Let's Get Growing show, finishing up the year with us here today. You got your gold Santa hat on right now. Awesome. Let's see. I don't know if we got any sound. Let's get you unmuted there real quick. Oh, you're on mute on your side. I think you gotta unmute us. There you go.
Hey, everybody.
There you are. There we
Great.
go. Excellent.
I had muted on my side because we had so many great guests. I didn't want to accidentally cause a thing. So I'm multitasking on both sides here. And I don't know if I'm a fearless facilitator. I say more like a frantic facilitator trying to keep up with everything, because we have built this community up so much that you guys are chatting away in our chat area that I am just barely coping. Glad for it. But yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. Here, I'm gonna probably mess everything up for 1 second. We'll see what happens when I do this. See if
Okay.
it works or not. Oh, yep, I knew that would happen. Let's do this. See, I knew I was gonna mess it up a little bit. Not too bad though. Not too bad. You're back. There you are. I wanted to make sure I was on the right one because I did want to be able to take a moment to show a couple of things as well too. But yeah, here we are. It's the end of the year now. This is the final show. This is it. We're on the last possible half an hour or so, maybe a little less. I think we're kind of running a little fast on time today, but yeah,
good.
but we're good. You know, we're hanging out here and
Yes.
finishing up the year.
And so much exciting news.
I know.
So much exciting news.
Announcement
An
day.
additional day, an additional show, an additional co-host, an
Yeah.
additional segment presenter, and I'm going to slightly spoil this. There is more news to come.
Yep,
Everybody.
exactly,
So I'm not
exactly.
going to spoil it by saying who and what, but there is more stuff still in development. So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
are
yeah.
trying very hard to build the show, build the community, make a quality product, make something that's worthwhile. And the theme for this year that's within your control is we're trying to build our audience.
Yep, yeah,
And
that's
part
right.
of that will be some of you, if you feel like we're trying very hard to make a quality product, a worthwhile product, that you share it with your friends, share it on your channels, put it out on your other social media stuff, because
Yeah,
our
if you're
big
in some
goal this
garden
year-
groups out there, other things, Facebook groups, that sort of stuff. I can't go around sharing my show and things like that around in Facebook groups and these other type group places and stuff because they don't like when people like promote themselves or anything. But my audience can. The people who
Correct.
follow this show can. You could go out there and tell people that you watch this really awesome show so that they can come and be a part of and get the chance to. Like I said, I've been showing this master list. Can you believe all these people that we've had who've come to hang out with us? I mean, we've got such a great opportunity around here to learn and be inspired by so many great garden communicators out there who participate with our show. So let's make sure that we get as many people out there to know about it. I know there's a big, wide, vast audience out there, and we'll see what this new time slot does too for us as well, right, Jay? I
Yes.
mean, we're jumping into a Monday evening slot now too as well. So we'll have an evening time. So we'll see how that kind of helps us bring in some audience members and some things as well too, because we really do have amazing, wonderful community here. It's just I'm just blown away by the people who are so supportive that are here with us all the time, regularly around here.
So,
Yeah.
yes, we are trying to do different things to maintain and actually advance this to be a quality product. We believe in it. We hope that some of you that regularly show up also do. But like Enoch was explaining, part of the support that you can do for us is some of the things that we frequently say, which is like share, donate, all
Yeah.
those kinds of things. But this year we're really emphasizing the share part because it doesn't cost you anything but a few seconds, maybe 1 minute of your time.
These are
to
the free
share out
things we
on
can
the
do,
show.
right?
Correct. So those are things that is very little time, very little effort, and we would really help. We honestly, what it comes back to for me is I believe in this show and I think it's a quality product. And not only has it been maintaining as a quality product, but we've been trying to improve and enhance it. And we want to build our viewership. So for all the effort, and most of you have no idea of the effort Enoch makes behind the scenes, what it takes to bring the guests that we
Someone got a taste of that recently, huh?
Oh wow. It's a lot.
Yeah,
And
and you didn't even have to deal with the booking part of it all.
no, my guests.
Well, I mean, your guests were easy. You did have guests, though.
Well.
You did book some guests. I will say that, though. You did do that, though.
Yes. I basically let's put it this way. I have no social media background. I am not a content creator. So it was a bit of a step up for me. Well, no, let's call it 3-4 steps up to try to host the show. And totally, if we were to sit down and analyze it, I could point out right from the beginning various weaknesses and foibles. But I hope that when any of you saw those shows, you would see that I was really trying my hardest to make it worthwhile for each of you, and that upon every show, I would watch the previous show and try and continuously improve so that it was a better show every time. And for now, I'm actually been more in the background, thank goodness, and having Enoch in front. And yay on that, because boy, does he have much more advanced skills at this than I do. However, and I'm not going to end on this point, but I'm just mentioning this is the last show for this year. Then we'll be taking 3 weeks off, but we will have the show space open for chats, and I will be there for you guys as I normally am during that time. So if any of you want to connect and chat, and there's a possibility, not promised, possibility that it could be a little bit more than just the chat area, but I'm not committing yet because yeah.
That's kind of as I teased earlier. You might see one of us pop up. You might. I mean, maybe once, maybe this and that during that time, but we will have those chats open up for everybody.
Yes.
But
I do want to repeat.
did see here. I saw Robin in there. Hello, Robin.
Oh,
good to
Robin.
see you.
Yes.
Yeah,
She's very busy right now. Yes.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
Shawnee,
Yeah, busy.
too.
Shawnee. Little tease there for everybody if we're not mentioning anything, but
Yes.
little hint.
Yeah. So yes, we have had the exciting news we've already had, and more exciting news to come. So
Yeah.
if you watch for our community page, there may be updates there about things coming up. But the main thing is to watch for this new Monday night show.
Yeah, what do you think about this? How's this going to be? Real quick here. Let me pop this up real
believe
quick
it.
for everybody here to see that we've got this whole new show, the green room on the Let's Get Growing. I mean, look at this. This is going to be so much fun. Me and Natalie together as co-hosts for what's going to be your 3-day weekend here on the Let's Get Growing show. You got the Saturday show, we got the Sunday edition, and now we got the green room with Natalie and I.
Yes.
A co-host though, right? Not
Yes.
Right? That's going to be awesome.
She's not a guest. She is a co-host and equal to running this show.
And has been bringing some great ideas. You've been partaking in some of our little meetings and stuff, and she's brought, and you can confirm she's brought a lot to the table when it comes to what we're going to be doing on this new show.
Part of the reason I was excited about her signing on is because she has such a strong personality. She's a very dynamic person, full of energy, full of ideas. And I kind of feel like, and I'm not sure if I'm going to word this exactly right, but there's sort of a yin and a yang to how she is and how you are, like in your personalities and how you present yourselves, that I feel like it's kind of like a really interesting mix, kind of like salt and pepper, I guess you might say, or something. Is it each
right
has your own
different but belong together, right?
Correct. Yes.
I like that. That's actually a good way to put that.
Yeah. So I was really pleased because she has a natural enthusiasm that I don't know how to explain. I don't know if you can control her enthusiasm. She is just so bubbly and energetic. I wish for that. I wish I had that.
I know. And that's what's, again, too, it's going to make the conversation so fun, is to have that dynamic between the two of us. And then, the different guests and the different people that we get to have these conversations and everything with, so,
and in fact,
really
Tony mentions that later on, as he says, just a little later, makes for an interesting dynamic. And he is right. He says just a couple comments down from that. So
Yep, yep.
Fantastic. So we're excited about it. We would love to hear some of your ideas about it. It will be a slightly different style of show. It will be
Yeah.
a slightly different features of the show. And again, I'm going to put some of the spoilers out to you that there will be other things happening in the new year that we're just finalizing the development of that. So there's even more exciting news coming.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. In fact, I think maybe what we should do is I might and we're doing some show business here live on the show right now, but maybe we should send them a email with a show link or something if they are if they are here, if they want to jump in after the show for a
Well,
minute
tell
or
you,
two.
sure. I'm
We'll
going to
see.
send out a generalized show link, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
And we have a
If they
couple
want to.
that we would like to show up, if you can, for even a few minutes after the show, meaning
Yeah, yeah.
in a little later. But we don't want to quite spoiler exactly who and exactly what. But we're just going to put this out there, and
Yeah.
if those people can
I
join,
just had one idea I wanted to run by them and all of that, but again, just just so much fun, so much new stuff, all that sort of thing. I wish in
Yeah.
some ways that there was more I could say about some things, but this is kind of the way it's going to go. It's going to be fun, though. I mean, you said we got this new Monday show. What about Brandy? She jumping in and taking
Yes.
Sarah's spot and continuing our garden trivia segment. That's going to be really fun.
Yes. And I just want to remind people that this is a community show. And gradually, as time has gone by, we've tried to do things within the chat to try and make it more and more of a community. We've invited in a more formal and more regular community show to bring people in. And a comment that I had noted earlier, and that was quite some time earlier in the show, is I believe it was Dusty Flat said something, and pardon me if I paraphrase. Dusty Flat said something about, I really like that you bring out a community show in which people don't have to have a gardening channel to contribute.
Yeah.
And some words to the effect of that's unique or unknown,
Nobody does that. Nobody's doing that.
And the thing is, that's one of the things that, we regularly try to mention is we're for gardeners, not just content creators who do gardening or who create garden channels. So the thing is, we want to be a community for whoever shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're a little uncomfortable around the camera and stuff, this is your chance to have just, a little segment of time.
Yeah.
Can you see Enoch?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just like I said, we'll just wait till afterwards, though. I think
so we'll have a little chat after the show.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure. But I really appreciate coming in, though, too. So for sure, thank you.
So
and maybe for our other person, but I'll also mention this too because there's a question in here from Kevin, who says Monday night sounds neat. What time slot would that be in? And then Dusty Flats was mentioning that yes, it's 5 Eastern must it'll be 8 p.m. No, that'll be 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So so we're trying to get that Monday evening slot where it's not too early for evening on the Pacific Coast where I'm at, and not too late in the evening on the East Coast where Natalie's at. So it kind of fulfills that kind of little that space there. And I do want to say this real quick, sorry Jay, but I did want to, I know because Tony's in here and he's mentioning how it's an interesting dynamic and everything, and I think it's great, but I did want to mention to Tony and other folks from the UK as well too, I do apologize again for it being so late at night, this new show and everything, but I hope that you'll get a chance to check out replays and that sort of thing as well.
So Bowtie has helped us out a little bit here because a few people in the chat have asked the times for different places. So it depends on where you live. But now Bowtie, being the great helper that he is, 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern. And I'm afraid I don't know off the top of my head what that would be for UK, but very late.
He's got us covered right there as well too. He says that's 1 a.m. in the UK. So that's really late for you guys. I don't know, maybe you're closing a pub down or something like that. You want to, you want to come and check us out and come hang out or something like that, so
part of the reason for
other than that, I apologize.
Yeah. So part of the reason for the change is that we frequently had people in Australia and New Zealand saying, either as guests or as, people
Yeah.
in the chat going, yeah, I'm getting up in the middle of the night for you, or I can't really do that. Well, what we were trying to do is create a time to have us be more available to the conventional audience, but also for those people on the other side of the world, that way, south. So
Yeah.
the way the world works, we can't accommodate times that work for absolutely everyone, but we are
But
super
one
glad.
of our shows does, right? So, I
Yes.
mean, that's why we got this diverse time, diverse, all that sort of stuff, so we can really kind of get around the world. And one of the things is also when it comes to, we talked about earlier, we're going to have Joe Lampel on for one of the first guests. Joe's one of these guys I've been wanting to get on and do a great interview live with everybody, because the Let's Get Growing show idea is that we are a community. We are, people are getting together to have a conversation together. You guys in the chat are part of this conversation happening on the show. And because of that, that just means that we have people that we want to have on who can't do certain times, right?
Correct.
So now that we got this other new time slot, that's going to allow us to be able to not have to do pre-recorded interviews where you guys can be a part of the conversation. Those pre-recorded interviews they're okay in a sense when you want to get somebody and you really want to have a conversation with someone, but it goes kind of against what I was trying to accomplish with the show. So there came a point this last year where I was just kind of like, even when it came to Joe, and that's why I was glad and why kind of this idea came forward and moved forward in a way too, was because Joe's a great guy. I love to have him on the show, but at the same time, I don't want to do a pre-recorded interview anymore, right? I want to have someone on live. So that's kind of where it was. It was like great and awesome for Joe too, because I said, hey, Joe, you know what? You helped inspire this new show and all this and that. You want to help us get it launched? And he's like, let's do it. So he's going to jump in and be a part of us getting to it. And then for Australians, folks in Australia, you don't have to get up at 3, 4, and 5 in the morning and all of that with us, to hang out on the show, or guests, some great Australian gardeners making great content and communicators out there doing some cool stuff. I'm hoping to get a hookup on a really great Australian guest as well too that I'm working on, but but that allows us to be able to invite them on, so they don't have to get up so early and they can come be a part of a show that works in a better time slot for them as well over there. So it's still the next day, it's still the future.
Yes,
but it'll be a better time of day.
I guess the key thing is that we are doing what we can as we can to slowly keep advancing the show, making it better quality, building the community, both for contributors within the show and then also outside the show. So I'm just going to show this comment kind of quick. This is me.
Yeah.
Yay, our community team is growing. So I was yelling.
Right.
Yes, I was yelling. Yay, our community team is growing. The J-Bot is excited.
Yes.
And like I've already teased out, more to come. There's even more things in development. So we are so happy to try and create a quality show for you. We're doing our very best. We love to hear your comments and suggestions. We'll try to integrate as many as we reasonably can, as we can, because again, community show, the theme of it, growing community through gardening. Okay.
Yep.
We are trying to do this our very best for you. And we are very excited that we are putting out even more efforts in our direction towards you, because we all love gardening.
Yep. And Rob here, he's like, I'll be in bed at that time. I know. I'm so sorry again for you folks. And we do understand that. I'm not asking anybody to get up and come hang out with us late, like I said, unless of course it's just one of those nights you're out closing some pub up or something like that and you want to come check in with us or whatever. But other than that, no. And that's one of the things, we'll always be here on Saturday and Sunday as well for all of you folks in the UK. And hopefully, Rob, hopefully we're going to get to see you on one of our community shows coming up too, because I'm going to be working on more of those coming up in 26 as well. So
Yes.
we all want to see Rob. I mean, I get to watch some of your cool videos and things that you put out on your channel, Rob, but it would be great to get you on with us here on the show sometime.
In
So we'll
the
have to work
attic.
on that.
In
Yeah,
the
in the
attic.
attic. In the attic, exactly.
I'm just going
Rob in the
to
attic.
I'm just going to throw out one more comment and suggestion that was given. This is by Shawnee. She says, question, let's getting a cooking segment. Plant to
I
plate.
know.
Who's a chef in here? So the thing
I
is, we
know.
don't know if we can necessarily fulfill that, but we love the energy and ideas. We are
Yep.
noting them down and trying to fulfill whatever possibilities we can.
And I'll
So-
say on that too, though, is that if you do have, and you're a content maker out there, and you got a channel out there or something, and you're willing to put in the work for producing that type of segment, then I'm sure we could find some way to do that. You know, I've got lots of great ideas. Cooking has been on the list. A cooking segment has been on the list. I've got other fun ones I've talked about with others and stuff as well too, about doing some other fun type of things as well, especially as we move forward and do some stuff. So I would love to see some of those ideas.
So maybe
Someone mentioned, I'm sorry, Jay, but someone was mentioning like the news one, right? The other day or something, right? You know, this is something I've thought about doing. I'd love to have like that cool little newscaster type of segment or something. But it takes one to kind of write it up, do the research, and produce that segment, because I do so much for all these other things. And that's why we reach out to folks, you know, to do things like Brandy to do a trivia segment, or you know, others to do some other segments, David and Paul and Mark doing the In the Garden segment and those sort of things. And so we can have that extra cool content that's coming from our community, you know, which adds that variety to the show and everything, but it's also stuff that I don't have to produce either too, you know, that I can just kind of put in there and helps, you know, me with the workload that has to be done to put on a show like this.
So we have been communicating with different other content creators in the background, some of which we can't reveal now. But I'm just going to put this out here as an idea. Maybe you are a content creator out there, and maybe we haven't had direct communication yet, but you have a special skill set or a special set of knowledge or an angle on gardening or gardening related stuff that you feel that you might want to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
Contact us. We're very open-minded people. We can't necessarily fulfill and fit in every idea, but we would love to hear from you, because I'm going to go back to it one last time. We are a community show. We're going to try and squeeze Enoch over a little bit as we fit more people in and more people in and more
And
people. It's his show.
I'm perfectly
Keep
comfortable with it. I'm comfortable with it too. You know what I mean? As I always tell everybody, that this is your show, right? I just put this together. I do some of the back producing work and all that sort of stuff, but really the intent is that this is your show. This is a show for the gardening community that I facilitate and that you all are a part of. And if you want to be a part of it, come be a part of it. I'm open to lots of great ideas, all that sort of stuff that help expand on that mission of making this, you know, the best community show, the most unique community show in the gardening. I'm just, you know, this is gardening. The gardening community is an amazing community out there. And this kind of gets back to a little bit of what you're saying too earlier, Jay, is that one of our big goals in 26 is to get the word out. Let's build our audience. You know, this is, I mean, what we get to do here on this show is, you know, to me, I say by luck, you know, that I've been so successful at doing this, but it's really because the gardening community is so amazing and so willing to jump in and participate and be a part of these types of things and everything, that this show has been very successful at doing kind of what it intended to do. You know, was to start a great conversation and be a cool variety show that's for the community and is unique. I mean, there aren't other people producing and doing these types of shows in our community. You know, there's lots of great shows out there, lots of great podcasts. I mean, we have them on this show to talk to them, to promote them, to talk about them, because we love to promote, you know, anything going on out there. There's some amazing shows, but I do have to say this, is that you're not going to find a show like this. right
Mhm.
within the gardening community. So I think it's and because all of you have come to be a part of this, you show up every week in the chat, and you guys are such a great community together. You guys do so much. Our guests are so amazing and so awesome that this is really just a really special place and a special thing for me that I get to do each and every weekend, to get to come and sit in the seat and hang out with all of you guys. So again, I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm kind of rambling in a way, but it's really it really is just kind of a saying that thank you all for all of your participation, what we get to do here on Let's Get Growing, and we'll continue to expand and make things more fun and offer more if we can, and build this community as much as we can. But let's work together. Let's do all that sort of stuff to really do some amazing fun things here in 2026.
Yes.
And and just keep this going. This is just going to be really fun and really great.
So to recap before we head out
Mhm.
today, 2026, new show on Monday nights, new co-host, fantastic,
Yep.
new segment person to come in and do the question and answers for the trivia, for garden trivia.
Yeah.
More other people coming that we can't quite discuss, but there's a few more things happening. Not quite as big a news, but super glad to be building the community and having more members joining the team. And we are also super excited for your ideas as well. The main message we want to give out to you is if you can share out about us, because we're trying very hard to build a quality show. If you can join us, our team, by sharing out to people in your community about the quality of the show, that's our big thing for 2026. We really need that because, like Enoch says, there's sometimes some restrictions where we're not allowed to kind of blow our own horn to actually say,
Right. Yeah.
ourselves. So if you feel like we are a product that is worth watching, please share it out because we want to build our audience.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of our big things, as well as all the new stuff that we get to do coming up in 2026. But again, thank you, Jay, too, again, for all that you do and all of your support and work and facilitating our chat and all of that sort of stuff as well. I really appreciate that. Jumping in the hot seat a couple of weeks back to actually be our sometimes host now, in a sense. It was
Yes.
really great to see you do that and help take care of that. And so wonderful in so many different ways, your contributions and help us build this community here. So Jay, thank you for being here. Happy holidays to you and all of that. We're going to get to finishing up this show here and get moving on in our 2026. So again, thanks, Jay. And I'll talk to you in just a few minutes.
Okay, great. Bye.
All right, let's see here. Oh, where did I go? Okay, of course I held up here. All right, now we'll say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right. So there you have it. We're officially finishing up the final show of 2026 here on the Let's Get Growing show, Sunday edition, the final show. Here we are. We're about to wind it down, everybody. But again, as I was saying with Jay, thank you all so much for being such an amazing community. Thank you for all of your support and being here and hanging out with us throughout the weekends and throughout the gardening year. I'm looking forward to all the great things that we get to do together in 2026. It's just going to be really amazing. So let's look forward to all of that sort of stuff. And again, as we mentioned too, we got our great new announcement, as we talked about earlier. We've got our new show starting up on Monday nights now, Monday evenings. We've got the Green Room with Natalie and I. Natalie is joining us as co-hosts. She's going to help me host this new Monday night show. It's our 3-day weekend now. So the Let's Get Growing show is your 3-day gardening weekend every weekend right here on the Urban Gardener channel. And so we're going to have a great new fun shows, all that sort of stuff coming up as we get started back up here this next year. 2026 coming up in just a few weeks. It's only going to be a few weeks off that we're going to take here, as I mentioned too with Jay as well. We'll have the chats up. I'm going to get those set up here real soon as well too, so you guys can get together and join in with the chats during these next upcoming weekends during our holiday break. And you might see Jay or I pop in and say hi or something during one of those days or something. We're not sure yet exactly. Just might happen though. So jump in and check out one of those chats when the time comes. But we will be back here on January 17th, Saturday, January 17th, with new guests and new shows. Saturday show, Sunday edition, and the Green Room on Monday night. So right on. That's going to be really great. And before we finish up here, everybody, let's go ahead and click that thumbs up, hit the like button if you can there, and hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Bell notification to be notified of all of our upcoming videos and live streams in 2026. And as Jay was saying, let's share, get this out there, get the word out, let all of your friends know. Go out into your garden clubs and garden groups and all of that. Go share one of our shows. That's a good idea. Go find one of your favorite shows, some of your favorite guests or something like that, and go share that show out with some of your groups and people out there, and let them know about our show and let them know what we got coming up here. More guests, more fun here on the show. And again, as I say, we got to change this banner. I teased that earlier. We're going to change this banner too, every Saturday and Sunday, and now Monday for our 3-day weekend here. So again, thank you everybody for being here. Thanks for joining us. Follow our links down below in the description to all of our other social media. And yeah, looking forward to seeing all of you in 2026. It's going to be great. We're going to have so much fun, everybody. And until then, I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all of those things out there to everybody. You have some wonderful holidays. Have a happy New Year. Enjoy your New Year's. Be safe out there, everyone. I want to see everybody bright and cheery and ready to go in 2026 when we're back in January 17th. So you all have a wonderful holiday season, and I'll see you when we get back. All right. We'll see you then.
Power out.